There we go. All right. All right. So, is it first meetup post Macy's? Should have a very interesting topic. So, slide. So, I think calendar, and I want to highlight the leadership that that's open is for senior lead automation engineer at the Game Network. Very fast, so this may be available when I actually send out the link. So, I have all the details here if you want to click in. And again, this will be viewable on the mobile device, much easier than it is on a Windows machine. But maybe, Mary, if you can highlight it. I did it last night, but
yeah. So, so it's for it's for their gaming department. It doesn't have to do anything with gaming QA necessarily, but it's for their development teams for their web platform. So they have about like 30 developers out here in the San Francisco office. They're looking for their first QA hire to kind of run the show for them. So they offer really competitive salaries. They do a lot of work from home, remote work, and they are opening a bunch of new things across their gaming platform. So if that's something that interests you, it's not required, but if you like gaming or are interested in kind of implementing best practices and processes, this would definitely be the place to do it. So, yeah.
And then different, on a side note, they'll actually do a lot of, Calendar will do a lot of the negotiation for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Top dollar.
Yeah. So, one less to worry about.
You experience with putting foreigners in on a visa?
Yeah, like H-1B, everything. Yeah. Types of visas.
All right. So, what's the next meetup scheduled? October 27th, one of the test fanatics actually contacted me and asked me to host it at their office. So,
nice.
So I said, okay. So the scouts are at 301 Howard Street, and we'll see from there. Actually, I think Chavez from SOSTA will speak, but I haven't got a hold of him to confirm. If it doesn't happen, I'm meeting with him next week at Star West. If it doesn't happen, I'll probably do a quick, as the talent staff here has seen as my Melvinism comic strip, I might turn that into a QA PowerPoint presentation. So look out for that one. There's something that I started when I left Macy's and gone through and kind of took my QA stories or office stories and made them into comic strips. And with that, I'm going to over to Alex, who will talk about, again, probably a little bit since we chatted.
Yeah.
Let me then change the screen. And leave it out.
Thanks. I found out just before we started that Melvin was at one point a CloudShare user. He will be my test case. I need to bounce ideas a little bit.
That's correct. I did use CloudShare back in its early days when I could get an entire Windows lab set up for desktop application.
Yeah. There is the easy build, save, and share complex IT environment. Complex is in the configuration, usually multi-tier, often tries some security scenarios. Very popular of it. Around, I've been alluded since 2007, originally back by Sequoia, Charles River, a few other build firms, founded in Tel Aviv, and I'll have offices Tel Aviv, San Francisco. Development in Tel Aviv, fly back and forth. And as noted, I'm the business development manager at CloudShare. That means I do a lot. However, none of it is testing. So if you want to call me out, please do. I'd love to be corrected. What I have done is worked with our user base, which is dozens of testers. We one point counted, we had users active in 100+ countries in 1 month. We have different use cases the way from enterprise all the way down to very, very new tech. I'm a lawyer. I trade and training, and I used to play baseball. So those are things that I can be an expert on. And I'm interested in, and this talk will be kind of a discussion about stuff that I think will appear, annoying work that here and what we see on our platform, kind of an open platform of what we see has been eliminated and what's not really there, and it's kind of smoke. Through some of the changes I've seen, some of the work that we think that has been automated, and open up for discussions on the state of testers. So the overall view I've seen since I've been at Cloud is the public cloud services is just joined. Cloud was new. Cloud was something enterprises were not.
You're not sharing your screen.
Oh dear. That's that.
So there should be a control at the top. When you pull down, it says share screen.
On the
I just realized it's not.
WebEx.
On the WebEx, I'm trying to win like high five and
It's very deep. And,
different. If you your name, like, there's not there.
Cool.
Okay.
Can you ask that?
Yeah. I see everything.
Cool. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so top of the public cloud service, I'll see most enterprises we're talking to, if it's these or security willing to at least move their test environments, at least move the non-production stuff in. And we see a lot of popping up. But it's linked the MeetUp to go, and one of the topics they went over was this schizophrenic role for the development or the quality engineer. And from our perspective, or just from it's a comment of the changing tech becoming pretty popular, and the kind of increasing need faster delivery. So this kind of continuous delivery and the tool coming to meet it. So we've seen people come to us are not just a tester, not just a developer, but of everything across infrastructure testing, developing. A lot of services around making environments easy. A slew of them putting up around Docker now, and a slew of them that look a bit less, or like VMware that are making complex test scenarios very easy to spin up. And in addition to that, there are services that I'm sure some of you are familiar with, things like laws or UTest, that are crowdsourcing a lot of tests. So tests with the right amount of coins entered are going far past the chart, and a lot of that, it seems, going of automation. else is very easy, very complex setups. We have seen, others in our field have seen very complex test environments become very, very simple. And instead of have and someone who's setting this up, it's just one hybrid developer tester X can spin up one of the environments and run a suite and then delete it. If you have technical pushback, feel free. But it's still super hard. What is still work and do is this CD dream. It's that we've worked very hard on. It's something that a lot of our customers have worked hard on, but we still see most of the adoption as this kind of framing, like in pieces. The full build tests, putting in all of your test scripts and automatically deploying is a dream at this point, in our view. But we do see a lot of effort in that direction. And I'd look Melvin's perspective on Kotler in the corner. She has, and I bring this up because it's at other meetups. They're being up as this changing role that one group we saw has changed from testing. Their phrasing is testing is no longer a role, testing is architecture. Quality is no longer a task, quality is a culture. So we're enabling this in some ways, but it's also just a push to move here. And perspective, it's the environment piece is there. If you need any kind of configuration in the world, you can get it. If you need to audit something on that, if you're running Selenium scripts, the output is that very well, but from our view, those sort of tools are not there yet. I am not a tester. I'll hear more on what you think. I don't know if this is controversial. Some of the meetups I've been to, it's a back and forth on this. And I'd like to show a demo of what we do. You have any?
I can go right into the demo and check it out.
Awesome.
I haven't seen this in a couple of years. So.
Great. I'm glad to show you. So when we used Cloud Share, we shared 6 network.
It's just like,
Yeah.
Okay.
This piece of the question really opens on too.
no, I see.
Okay, cool. The Cloud Share. I left the environment for schizophrenia for a reason. What Cloud Share does,
So let's look at this. There's a delay between WebEx and High Five and so on. So it's not showing up on the screen right away. That's your laptop.
got it. So
Yeah.
is it on the web access?
Yeah, cool. The screen is the last to get the change.
Cool. Okay, so Cloud here, there. When Melvin was fairly sick, you could create flat work with maybe a go with,
Yeah, I'd hold pause for a second. There we go.
okay. Okay. Go with this. You set up. And it's loading. And it's loading. So these are very similar to what Mel using, a pre-configured environment with, in this case, directory, SharePoint, SQL, tested, ends up in a few kind of difficult. I mean, when I say the environment, I mean this everything that I can edit.
Can you check your Active Directory tree, which you have? This is you're spinning up an Active Directory in SharePoint. Do you pre-ink it with data, or is it done off blank?
This one will start off blank, but what does that mean? And if a box on premise of VF of directory, and then it'll just copy in everything you have. Build something a little more custom. You can take anything you have on premise and then copy that, or copy any of these machines in the gallery. And let's do an example of something very simple. Ingress. And a Windows Server. Functional testing meant. And let's how about Chrome versions? I'll install on this environment. Save. And those be spun. And is a virtual environment. Anytime I want to, I can this one and then make a few changes, mess around with it, snapshot it while I'm working. And they've basically as my version. And to any tools, just your API that exposes pretty much everything here from the internet level to the networks, to anything you'd need to upload files to a secure FTP. It's the environment. And then with build, set the policies, which basically are the lifetime of it. You can say, let this 7 days run for 3, and then we're talking the product using would just automatically suspend, like for cost control. But you can set basically the type of lifetime you want for the environment. So what this is really used for is if you're setting up for automated tests, you'll have it run, and then something stalling, it'll just automatically spin down to 15 minutes. the secure FTP. Let's see. Environment's done out. These are still prepping.
If we can have a any questions or curiosity about it.
Before, so use it.
I have used
it. What's the user? How did you use it?
So I used this 2008. I was using a desktop application, and it was typed to Word. I needed to test Windows XP with 2007, my application. And so at the time, had always able to spin up 6 different Windows instances of different Office configurations, and then be able to run some tests through the whole thing. So there really wasn't a very great test to automate Word. So a lot of manual. And at the time, it was much more effective than me buying this machine and 6 Office licenses.
Right. So everything comes licensed.
It was our free license, and you could spin it up, destroy it. If there was an issue, I would take the cluster environment, send it over to the developer, have them log in, and reuse it there. And so that was probably back then when I first used it. Was just I had one laptop to try to do testing that our customers did, and as a contrast, okay, this works, and basically send a link, go log in. Here's the URL, log in. Essentials, here's the bug. Snapshots so that it did down after an hour or two of inactivity. Just have someone else call and I just spin it back up and then we just take a look at it. It was really my use case. We just defect handed over to someone wanting to validate, install, they were their own, then let's build onto that VM or to that that instance, so that they fix, that they checked in, actually solvable. We actually have the environment set up.
So how do you actually work for manual testing? Is there a client, or can you download the image there? Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Browser.
HTML5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Can they use, for the other scenario, I will 1,000 test cases. I was reading, let's say I will 1,000 test cases. Instead, fail can be continued. One fail can be start way. So let's say if my first test case fails, can they analyze the fail because let's say the box is done. So it's no sense to continue the rest of the 999 tests. Can they do that, or when you set up, no matter what, they continue?
I can probably answer that. So you're asking if I run a test or to get that environment, there must be an API to check to see if the environment is up. So actually probably more on your.
Oh, so you have to make a heartbeat call first, right?
I mean, I would assume your framework would handle it. Your test framework, if you know, like if you fails and you know that the error is, you might. And again, I come from Qcom, right? I have a hook that just says scenario fails, just ping to make sure the environment's up.
Yeah, so now you add a logic right there too.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, so that's that. So CloudShare will only provide an API to just see if instances are up.
Right, and you could inspect whether it's up, and if a test fails, take a shot at failure point, send the snapshot to your.
So when let's say the box is done, the server will respond, so you will stop the rest for me. Right?
Well, it's up to your framework. I can probably.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
you can set that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I can write a sample with CloudShare that we can share,
Sure.
like a heartbeat that fails and take it out.
Yeah, the CloudShare piece of that is just the environment handling. So you can connect whatever framework you have, and if test fails, we integrate with Zapier. That's a little bit easier to set up those kind of workflows, but it's done through the API.
So, would you drive this in your CI/CD environment? Do you use Jenkins, or like, what do you do? So, I do this, and then I'm also, my test too, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't have the bigger picture of how
Sure.
this is
So I'll do a
built.
couple examples. You can use this as anything, just because it's VMs, right?
Uh-huh.
But most of the tests, most of the CI flows are you basically hook it up to your TFS or your Jenkins, and it's about your environment, runs the test on the environment. If it fails, then you have a snapshot of that environment. That's how we do it. There's, like I said, most there. So most of our customers are just hooking it up and have their workstation on CloudShare, and then in workstation checks code in, it runs a test, and then another CloudShare workstation can either look at it or just look at the source role. And,
They're actually developing on CloudShare.
They're working off a tablet.
one of
browser based. I think maybe they just
Go back to like the
Yeah.
terminal kind of thing.
Okay.
Right? So you
Yeah.
basically have essential.
give it as a system environment, the test environment at every stage. So they'll use it as a testing environment, staging environment, and if at any point they need to inspect, have the full copy at the point that it failed, and they can just hop in and look at it, because RL is just there for them where they want it to be sent.
Uh-huh. And so, how does it compare to like something like Sauce Labs? How would you?
There's some differences. So Sauce stops at Sauce is just kind of Selenium, right?
Uh-huh. I guess, yeah.
It's all the way back into a multi-tier system. So it's between Cloud Sauce is kind of in the infrastructure level. Sauce is just exposing a browser with lots of Selenium
Right.
baked onto it. CloudShare is giving you the full system and infrastructure as a service that you can plug in and out. So you can hook up the full system, whereas Sauce, you're just getting that awesome matrix of tests, but you're not getting something that you can dive into.
And okay, cost-wise, would you see someone using Sauce and pointing it at something they deployed to CloudShare, or not? Does that not make sense?
You can. It
Doesn't make sense.
but,
I'm wondering how these pieces play, because that's a big.
we know Sauce. We've taught it. It's just
Application and your functionality. I guess that's what I'm asking. I mean, why bother to do that?
I think, so I think from what you're looking at from in the use case of using, let's say, CloudShare. So this is back when I had, the VM. I'd have a VM that would run Firefox tests. Probably have a back end on one CloudShare instance, my, layer database and front end serving 4 boxes I'm using now CloudShare. Could potentially test if something goes wrong or there's a bug or potential fix. I could probably take down one CloudShare instance and deploy a new instance with new code,
right,
and repeat the whole test off one box. Does that make a little more sense?
Yeah, a little bit.
If you're for like that whole continuous integration.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure it out.
No, you could, because I'm,
I'm sort of digging into, Docker too.
Yeah.
Has a certain appeal to me for, tests from Docker, because those containers just you can spin them up in seconds, and you can just have a new Docker container every time you run any tests, for instance. These are VMs, right? Not containers.
Right. So conceptually, it's the same with CloudShare, just as fast and because it's spinning up the entire system. So,
I got on your work for a minute. Especially on time.
right.
I mean, my phone is just an old computer with a graphic user interface. Which can be used.
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead of saying CloudShare, before I say the concept, basically environment share. You build your own VM environment, share on the cloud, right? Share in one VM. And then you build multiple VM, so your same test case should be different VM box, and one test case. Is that?
Well, it was if I spit out share any VM environment, whether it's AWS or so on. It's spin, and again, it's up to my test framework to manage how to react when it fails. So, then there's my infrastructure, run the test, it fails. Some logic to detect whether my VM is the issue or something, I have something to continue on to the next test case. With the cloud, I probably would have more than one test running against the site at the same time.
If I set up my local town, let's say I have set up my local town on my local laptop.
Yeah. So the only
set up VM.
Yeah, so it's I'll, and I'm trying not to pitch CloudShare, but when I used it back then, if I had to do my instance, local VMware, I do that to over here to say, hey Tim, I have this issue, he can't reproduce it on his VM instance, and using it like, hey Tim, this isn't working. Here's the link. Here's the password. Log in. Remember the days of having to copy our entire VM onto a thumb drive, hand it over to somebody else, or put it up on the network.
Yeah, that's the inspiration for CloudShare.
So that was why I went with CloudShare years back. Was a very heavy Windows Word comment, especially with our application back then. Word, every little patch level made a difference, and so maintain all the different patches of Word. I had 6 of them, and then another 6. Kept sending links back and forth. So, and again, you can do this with AWS or other. The advantage, I think, with being able to share the exact environment. Because, I think we all know, right? It works on my machine. I don't know. We had a conversation all the time with our development team.
But they cannot talk to Jenkins. I leave all my test cases successful. I cannot do Jenkins. So I have to build it, deploy it. Oh, okay.
So that's how we get CloudShare.
Oh, okay. So they set up in my shop, or the station also set up on the local cloud.
Yes. I don't know.
I mean, I'd say that 80% of the world is out there with Jenkins.
Meaning, what do you mean by that? Like they're not using Jenkins? Or
not well.
Or they're not doing what?
Usually it's their Jenkins premise, and then they're using CloudShare API. So, okay.
Oh, I wouldn't get my premise out of this cloud based.
Yeah.
I mean, I pay $5,000 a year for Jenkins. I've seen Jenkins.
Where?
In cloud
based. Jenkins.
hosted Jenkins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't. But
Yeah.
How are you? I'm not necessarily directed right towards CloudShare. When I go to these interviews and I talk to these people, and I'm sort of amazed that companies are like, that's just too expensive. We're not going to use it because it's too expensive. And like LinkedIn or whatever, like that. So, what companies, what level companies
when I say it across the board, if you're using Windows test environment, it's small. A lot of system integrators.
Is it a lot of Windows though? A lot
Mhm.
of has to do with Windows.
Sorry, SharePoint.
A lot of SharePoint, a lot of SAP shops, a lot of security testers, a lot of Cognos groups, IT shops that were like only like large corporate IT shops who needed to manage the I want it now. Use us as a list of here's all the environments go annoying me. If you're doing a SharePoint app or if you're doing anything with SharePoint.
Everybody gets what SharePoint.
SharePoint is
the biggest hard to maintain test environments, right? So you
Yeah.
can get multiple versions.
Yeah. Kind of across the board in like size or
It's sort of like you're suggesting the development and the QA and the CI at once, or are they sort of,
it's really not there yet with the enterprise. Like enterprise, from what we've seen, isn't there yet. So it's usually coming in through an early adopter who is coming either as a consultant or to the organization they're bringing it. But most enterprises, like traditional enterprises that are like SAP or Microsoft and shops, are not. In doing little chunks, automation here and there, but they're not automating the. They're not.
So the window, we can even do the VM, the window environment, right? I don't want some patch. I want a particular patch, up to particular patch of the window. Can I do that?
Yes. So we have the like long tail of patches. You keep a fairly updated template list. So if you want the updated SharePoint environment or the most up-to-date.
Let's say the Windows is released with a new security patch. Right? It's already applied. But say if I want to build my window environment, let's say Windows 8, I don't want to apply that patch. And then can I do that?
Yeah.
You can't save a snapshot.
Yeah.
Like if you just save a snapshot and say this is my kind of Windows patch number. I mean, it's a manage it.
Also,
starts next year, can you go back to Windows 8
Yes.
patch?
If you save the template, so in any
I guess do. Well, where does the template come from?
So if you spend, so if our time does today, I'm kind of stuck with whatever that is, what the versions are. But it's, most cards allow you to upload your own template. So if you had a template yourself, you could upload. But it's not. I think any cloud provider will kind of manage what patches you want.
Yeah, no one is doing patching as a service for you.
I mean, Windows patches are like every month or every 2 weeks. Yeah. It seems like it seems a lot. I mean, every time I turn on that,
Patch Tuesday.
yeah, Patch Tuesday, yeah. So it really comes down, I think, to individual QA folks to either make that decision to manage their own patching.
So how do you guys check us by subscribe or by service or by contract?
We put into two pieces. The source, which are basically charged like Amazon. So if you buy ahead of time, it's 8 cents a gram an hour. and you can buy disk increments on top of that. It's a user fee, so $66 a month. And the base package is for a team of 3, $200 a month. And the chunk of orders, terabyte of disk, per user. There's an on-demand more expensive for the gigabyte RAM an hour, 50 cents, but there's no ongoing charge. So you can still leave there if you just want to test, and then you can spin it up, pay a couple bucks, and you have it archived forever. And then there's a between there for $100 a month. User. Go up to the enterprise for the larger.
Putting in something for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so and would be the best charge up front, 50 cents a gig of RAM an hour, and no, it will just stay there for you, and if you want to come back to it, it's paid.
I might need to couple of different Microsoft Excel sheets from different levels.
Yeah. We a lot. It's like we have like an edge case. Not often, except.
Yeah, it's Alex had the edge case of the fact that I have a Windows 10 machine. I had to run to Best Buy just to get a Windows 10.
Right.
After that, I my Windows 8 laptop to Windows 10, but then I do Windows 8 machine.
But you don't do Mac OS, I guess. Mac OS?
No one does.
I don't even know.
Windows, Linux.
Yeah, especially nobody can really do a
By Apple law.
By Apple law.
Yeah,
You can do a VM, but it has to be off of Apple hardware.
Yeah.
This one, well,
It's on Apple hardware.
Be on Apple hardware.
Processor study,
For Apple box or what?
Yeah.
Apple VMs on an Apple box, or you can only
Run
Two. Yeah, it's like two total.
two. You can run two,
big win.
and it has to be, yes, it's full.
Yeah, I've seen that license.
All licensed for all the Microsoft stuff. Try to go. You won't get charged if you don't use it.
Yeah, I can send up a chapter
Yeah.
to the user group.
That's an awesome idea to do an example.
Well, yeah, I can not like this week, but like maybe next month, write up an example to the CloudStrike. I'm sure that hasn't changed that much since I've left.
Updates. Pretty you.
Yeah, that sounds good. I last used, 2009, I think was when I last used CloudStrike.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Possibly.
In concept,
it's the same.
Yeah.
It's probably Rust now.
Yes, it is.
That's changed a lot.
So,
No.
yeah, so it's Rest.
Yeah, I see. I can probably write something up next month and post it on the user group about test framework.
Usually it's kind of like a, let's give you about 1 month or some.
There's no trial. Just as you go. Which if the machine is.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So, like I said, next month we'll have again it will be some location while we sort out locations. Will be our. I think we still have pizza left. We probably should go. Yeah. So, yeah, we get like
Video,
8:30,
I'll
yeah.
give you a free trial.
There you go.
Let's go, grab
I think I recorded.
all right. Bring it on.
Yeah, when I use it, let me know.